Good morning, everyone. It is Friday morning, May 10th, here on Cape Cod, and it is an absolutely beautiful and gorgeous spring day. And I saw in the weather today that some of you in the northern tier are going to get a few snowflakes. I'm sorry about that. I know how desperately you want spring because we here on the Cape and in Boston have felt the same way for a long time, too. So it will come. It's coming. You know it has. You've had a few tastes of spring. So hang in there for the rest of the country and the rest of the world. Mother Earth is waking up, and she looks beautiful and is wonderful and brings us great joy and warm air and warm weather. And we thank you, Mother Earth, for your beautiful, beautiful bounty and showings of all our plants and trees opening up and celebrating life here on our planet. I want to thank everyone for your comments and thoughts that you sent my way. I do so appreciate it, and remind those who do not agree with me, please come on, go right ahead, send those comments. But let's be respectful, keep the language clean and clear, and I enjoy reading them. Thank you. I wanted to let everyone know that my book, I'm a Psychic, Not a Psycho, The Journey of My Spirit, has been released on Kindle. It was released April 1st. It is available on Kindle and the Kindle family of readers. If you do not have one of those devices, you can download the Kindle app on most digital devices available. Otherwise, you can borrow one from someone you know. Thank you so much for all of you, the hundreds of you that have already picked up this book. I do appreciate it. I am working on my first fiction series called the Crabapple Creek Anthology. It is coming along. We're hoping for a release date sometime next summer or fall. The name of the first book is Crabapple Creek. It's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of good stuff. It takes place, I'll tell you right now, in North Carolina in the Smoky Mountains, Blue Ridge Mountains up there in North Carolina. So comments, thoughts, anybody, send along any information you want. If you've got a shop in the area, tell me about it. Maybe I'll include it in my book. I'd like to also let you know that today, Friday, May 10th, I'll be at Karen's Natural Living from 11 to 4:30. It is on Route 6A, east of the Lights and Sandwich. It is across from the mini golf course and Maypop Antiques. So I'll be there to do some readings for you, to connect you to the ones on the other side, to give you the messages you may need to hear at this time. On June 22nd, I will be on the waterfront in Plymouth at Plymouth Park, I believe it's called. It's just to the right or the east of the Plymouth Rock. This event is a charitable fundraising event for Ryan's Ride. Check it out on Google. It's an incredible cause. It helps people who are notified that loved ones have been in tragic mishaps. It helps them get to them to the hospital in a safe manner. Whether a ride is offered or a police officer takes them, the cost and time is taken care of by Ryan's Ride. So take a look at that. It's a little bit that I know about it. I will look into it in more depth. It is a good cause. So Ryan's Ride charity fundraising event on Saturday, June 22nd, and on the waterfront, on the east side of the waterfront there, east of the Rock, in Plymouth. Craft fair, readings, food, car show, all kinds of stuff going on. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little music in there too. And if there isn't, let's get somebody to volunteer some band time. We need some good old-fashioned country home, bluegrass, rock and roll music to make that event a stellar, wonderful event. Spirits asked me today to talk a little bit about the marathon bombings in Boston and how we can take charge of the energy we give off from those events and how we can help each other and the planet heal from that very violent event. And yes, it was violent. It was horrible. It was, I don't even know all the words to describe. Not just the bombs and those who crossed over because of it or those who have been permanently damaged, but every single person that was there, that worked in the area, that saw it, that felt it, that was a part of it, that is aware of it, has been affected by what this negative energy did. The same thing for 9/11 and the Atlanta bombings and any other kind of negative event out there. Spirit has asked me to give you some information that might help you move on and grieve through this event because it is a loss. And whether it's a loss of life, it's a loss of safety, it's a loss of our time and our life, then we need to hopefully do some active grieving. So Spirit has asked me to tell you the following. Negative, vengeful, revenge, get them, kill them, do it all in, is not going to help any of us move on in our grief, learn from this horrible, horrible event, learn how to let go, how to trust the divine, how to move closer to walking in the light. Whether you call it forgiveness, um, acceptance, whatever you call it, this tragedy has happened, and it's horrible that it's happened. I know I was, my school that I work at is a block away from the zone. It's in the zone, a block away from the bombings. We were not there that day as we closed because it's such a busy day in that area. However, when I went back 2 days later, every 10 feet there was an armed officer, police officer, military, National Guard, plainclothes officers, vehicles all over the place, road blockades. You couldn't breathe without feeling the fear and the anger and the violence that had taken place. I thank all the officials who were able to get this taken care of in the 4 days afterwards and continue to take care of this event. That the media keeps bringing it up over and over again, I choose not to listen to because it's not doing anyone any good. Spirit would like us to decide what we are going to learn from this event. Do we need to learn to forgive? Do we need to learn to let go? Do we need to learn to stop tuning into negative energy? Do we need to be able to offer up this negative energy to spirit, whatever our thoughts are, or just the event in general, or violent negative acts in general, to the divine, and ask that our feelings and the negative energy that's been perpetrated on our Mother Earth and our fellow human beings be cleansed and purified by the divine and sent back down for the healing of all of us, mind, body, and soul. To continually carry on and bring out the negativity from this event does not help us in our taking our baby steps in moving forward to try to walk closer into enlightenment and with the divine. I understand some of you may say it's not that easy. Oh no, I'm telling you right now, it may be easy to say these words, and it is not. It may be easy to read them, but to actually enact them and do them is huge. It takes a great deal of soul searching. It takes a great deal of energy to decide if you're going to continually live in the negativity, in the hate, in the fear, and the vengeance of this event, or if you're going to try, out of the goodness of your spirit and your own energy, to take baby steps in moving forward and letting this go, and offering all of your frustration and anger and sorrow and fear to the divine. What was done was horrible. That's all there is to it. I don't know any other words to use. It was horrible. And man will continue to do this to man because that is the nature of our existence. Here is why. My very, very wise shaman told me that without negative events being a part of our existence, we do not learn humility and love and forgiveness and being able to walk closer to the divine and reach enlightenment. If we lived in a utopia where everything was wonderful and great and beautiful, we would not have the opportunity to learn and grow in our own spirit and in our own energy. Sounds great. Takes a great deal of energy and willingness to take those first baby steps in learning to let go. For instance, the first bomber, I understand, was buried yesterday. A lot of people are very angry about where his body is. As my very wise Lakota shaman told me, a body is a gift of the divine, period. The energy that is put into the body is responsible for its actions. Once the body is done living, it dies. The energy that is in the body leaves the body and goes back into the light to do a number of things. In the case of this bombing person, his body no longer holds the spirit and energy that decided to bring these acts of violence toward mankind. His body is laid to rest back in Mother Earth. It is not responsible for what happened, but the energy and the spirit that was in it is. And it is from my guardians, guides, and angels that tell me that that energy is back in the light, and it is in a place where it has to do its own type of soul searching. It's in get your acting gear school, as I say. It is sitting down with the divine, with the guardians and guides and angels and fairies, everyone up there guiding that energy, and they are discussing what it did its whole time here on the earth. It may be that its purpose was to bring about this bombing, so that those of us affected in any way, shape, or form, now have a chance to walk closer and take lessons of positive energy and move forward. It sounds really simple and easy, and it doesn't sound fair, but as I tell my students and my clients, the word fair does not exist in the English language, not the one where everything is equal, but the place you go to have fun does. So, some thoughts for everyone. I ask that you take time to process what I've said. It is not right, it is not wrong. However, what I've said is valid because they are my thoughts and my interpretations of message from the divine. On that note, I leave you in the peace and the love of the divine, in the blessed love and energy of the light, and ask that you do have a blessed day and hope in some way that the messages the divine has asked me to give to you help you in your walk to enlightenment, to be closer to the divine. Blessed be.